Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal, Mr. Butter, coming back at you again. We saw a handful of limited Jordan 3s release over the last month or so. One of those pairs really grabbed my attention, and I ordered them from GOAT. They just got here, and I want to take a look at them with y'all. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these limited Jordan 3s. As mentioned, I ordered this pair from GOAT. I think retail was $210 US. I ordered these for $220 plus fees. So all in, I was probably around $245 for this pair, but I didn't think that was too bad. If my t-shirt didn't already give it away, this is the Kai 54 Jordan 3. Right off the bat, we can see that we get dual branding on the box here. We have that Q with the basketball in the middle of it. Then we have a Jumpman on the other side. I really like the colors that they used on this box, and I also just think it has a premium look to it. I think it's cool whenever we get special packaging. In the background of the box, you can see it's like the basketball, like the inside of this Q. And then beside that, it looks like a triangle, but I believe that represents the Eiffel Tower. Kai 54, if you're not familiar with it, it's an annual street ball competition that they have every year in France. I'm not sure how many years the Jordan brand has been coming alongside this event to create releases inspired by the basketball tournament, but this one in particular just looked really cool. I don't know if these released in the US or not. I ordered these from GOAT and they took about a month to get here. I ordered these right in the middle of June and they just showed up like July 10th or something like that. The tag reads Air Jordan 3 Retro Q. The colors are Summit White and Off Noir. I got a size 10 in this pair because it was cheaper than the 10.5 at the time. We see more of that pattern that we had on the outside of the box on the paper. Then we also see a Jumpman scattered throughout that as well. One other thing that I thought was really interesting is this came with a receipt directly from a retail store. I'm not really sure where these shipped from or anything, but they did include the receipt. I've actually made several purchases from GOAT recently, and it looked like they got shipped directly from a retailer, not necessarily from the GOAT warehouse. On some of those purchases, whenever I would look at my order status, it would actually say that the pair is preparing to be shipped from a trusted partner or something to that effect. But enough of the box talk and all that kind of stuff. Here they are. These just really grabbed my attention. I just really loved images of these. I didn't see a whole lot of reviews of them whenever I started off the video and I just mentioned that I was grabbing a limited Jordan 3. I know some people probably thought about the Balvin 3s that came out, and I like those. Other people might have been thinking about those green Nina Chanel Jordan 3s, and I'm not a big fan of them. I'll just be honest. I'm not really feeling them too much. This colorway just really stuck out to me. I really like this detail on the back, and that reminds me of what we saw on the Craft Ivory Jordan 3s, which I also love. It's got the Jumpman and the Air emblem on this transparent rubber heel tab, but then just below that you can see that Q. I really like the dual branding that you see again on the tongue. On the right shoe it has a Jumpman in that nice blue color, but on the left shoe it's got that Q basketball emblem. And overall, for me, this is just an incredibly wearable colorway. I really like the simplicity of this, but I also like that it's unique because it does have the dual branding and just some touches that we don't typically see on Jordan 3s. Looking at the outsole, we can see it's a standard Jordan 3 tread pattern. The perimeter is a nice black or really dark gray color. Under the forefoot where we have that pivot point, it's kind of like a burnt orange color. And then in the midfoot, we have some off-white areas that have some blue Jordan branding. As we come up to the midsole area, we can see that we've got a couple different shades of sail or off-white. It looks like here towards the midfoot and then surrounding the air unit, it's like a lighter off-white. but then just below the heel anchor area of the shoe, we've got a little bit darker of a sail color. And I really think that this off-white and sail complements the colors on the rest of the shoe very nicely. I don't think it's anything where they were trying to make it look aged or distressed, but I just think these colors look really nice with the rest of the shoe. And then of course, this being a Jordan 3, it has that visible air unit under the heel. The QC on this pair seems to be really good. There's really nothing that's jumping out at me. On my right shoe, it looks like maybe somebody tried it on because there's just a tiny bit of a start of a wrinkle here at the back of the toe box, but I don't really care about that. Whenever I saw these, I thought that this is a pair that I would like to wear. I don't really think these are good for investing in or anything like that. I like the fact that it's limited, that you're not going to see everybody walking around in it. So it doesn't really bother me if somebody slipped their foot into my other shoe. As we get to the upper of the shoe, here on the toe, we can see an overlay of what looks like a black or a really dark gray suede. And it's a pretty short-haired suede, but you do get some back and forth motion out of it. And it actually does feel like it's a pretty decent material. It feels like it's got a nice quality to it. One thing I love about this suede is how on the edges, it's got this burnt orange color. And I think that is such a neat touch. It almost gives it a cool border effect, but you can see that orange color on the edge of the suede on the front as well as on the back. And then in areas where we see these little perforations, such as here by the eye stays, and then up here by the collar, it might be hard to capture that on camera, but where we have all these little perforations, you can see a little bit of that orange color whenever you look down in those little holes as well. And I just think little touches like that really help to elevate these shoes, and it just makes it an interesting pair in my opinion. So with all that said, we have this nice black suede for the overlays on the toe and then the base of the heel, but we also have that same suede up here by the eye stays as well as up around the collar. It does have a little tag saying that there's a possibility for color migration because of this dark colored suede, but I haven't seen any colors anywhere on the shoe where it's not supposed to be. For the base of this upper, we've just got a really nice feeling white leather. It's not the softest material, but it's a very high quality feeling material. It reminds me of leather that we had on like Jordan 1 High 85s or something like that. You can tell whenever you look at the edges that it's a nice thick cut. It also just feels like it's going to last for a long time and like they'll break in really well. There's not a whole lot of texture on my pair, but whenever you press on it, you do get little ripples in that leather. And in my opinion, I think it has a really nice feel and I think it's a quality material. The base of the tongue is smooth white leather and it has little perforations in it. But then at the top, we just have a solid white leather with no perforations. As I mentioned before, the left shoe has that Q emblem there at the top in blue stitching, and the right shoe has that blue Jumpman embroidered on. To match this area on the outsole and then the trim that we have on the edges of that black suede, we also have little plastic accents here at the eyelet holes there at the base as well as at the top of the shoe. These came with flat black laces already in there, but they did come with a spare pair. It looks like the spare is just bright white. Right now, I like the way the black laces look in there. I might swap them out just to see which one I prefer more. Let me know which laces you would rock in here. I'd imagine there will probably be some people that would say, put sail laces in, that would look great, and it probably would. It's kind of got a satin feel for the sock liner, and I'm not sure if you can see this print that we have on here as well, but again, it just seems like that's another touch that you don't even notice unless you look at them close. But I really do think that it helps to take this shoe to the next level, just little subtle details like that. The insole on the left shoe has that Q to match the emblem on the tongue, and the insole of the right shoe has a Jumpman, and that matches the tongue on the right shoe as well. Like I said, I just really like this style. The images really jumped out at me, and getting them in hand, I like them even more. I think the subtle details as well as these nice materials, it does just make this feel like an elevated pair in my humble opinion. Let me know what you all think about this pair. Let me know if you've grabbed any pairs lately. I appreciate you all watching tremendously, and I will catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.